Today is the elimination battle. I trust that your preparations went smoothly. I turned towards the voice coming from behind me. He wears the clothes of a priest, which in the end only makes his snide tongue even more jarring. Come to the first floor when you are ready. You can do something trifling, like stopping by the conditionary if needed. Apparently finished, he opens the door and lets himself out. Preparation for the elimination battle. I should go to the chapel and commissionary. Or I could go to my personal room and sort out my information on the enemy servant. And then, once that's in order, I'll go to where Kodamine is. Hey everyone, welcome back to some more Fate Extra. Last time, they mostly spent all the time trying to figure out more about Alice and her servant, and the conclusion we came to is... it was something, alright. So now we're going to be going over everything we know and preparing for a fight against Alice and her servant. What do you have to say for yourself, Saber?
そろそろ出陣か？気が進まぬ。寒いのは苦手だ。無論、暑いのも苦手だが。
So same as always, that's fine. Let's start organizing information. It's time. If I don't overcome my smiling, precarious enemy, the flame of life that will be snuffed out is my own. Kill or be killed. Choices are terribly cruel, but I can't lose. It would be good to review all the things that have happened this week, one by one. First, there was the friend who turned out to be a monster. I thought it was. We originally thought that the thing that Alice summoned was a berserker. Right. From the ferocious intensity that Alice's friends displayed, I was positive it was a berserker. Next, Alice erected a reality marble in the arena. It was a reality marble so large it blanketed half the arena. It had the ability to... oh boy. It had the ability to remove you from existence. That's right. Alice proclaimed that the inside of it, people would forget their names, then they would forget they existed entirely. It was scary. However, if I was to believe that monster was her servant, then Alice would be twin masters. According to the rules established by the Holy Grail, there can only be one master per servant. So then, how could there be two Alices and a summon monster? The answer to that puzzle is... Monster is the master? Okay, Monster is the master. Not true. Both Alices were actually one person, president in the lore, but no, also not true. The truth is, one of the Alices is the servant. Koka Alzaki pointed it out to me that berserkers are incapable of using reality marbles. Then, while I was researching in the library, Alice herself said that the Jabberwock wasn't her servant. Here's my thought. It's all the same thing. The Jabberwock, reality marble, they're part of the noble phantasm created by the other Alice. That's everything there. And then, there's the fact that Alice's very essence seemed to mingle with her servants. Alice's servant can't exist without Alice's dreams, and Alice can't live without her servant. Which makes sense if she's been dead probably a long time. Alice is stuck in a dream, at least trying to grant her own last wishes. Alice's servant's identity is best described as the channel through which Alice's dreams manifest. Sheesh. That's... Might as well read what we have so far. Not the right button. Matrix. True name, nursery rhyme. Noble phantasm, Maxwell's demon. Maiden's empire, your Queen's glass game. Transformation A+, and metamorphosis A. Don't ask how we get this information. We just know. Don't ask how we know that this thing's that this thing's the concept of nursery rhymes. We don't know that either. I don't even know how I can piece that together, honestly. Maxwell's demon. Maiden's empire, Queen's glass game. The story without end. A childlike finger returns to the first line. A tiny hand reaches out on the second volume. For as long as the reader denies reality. That doesn't explain nothing. Transformation A+. I will change. I have changed. I am you, while you are me. I'm going to change. I will have changed. I am you, and you are me. Metamorphosis A. This is the ability to merge one's own body with the body parts of others. The higher the ranking of the skill, the further away one comes from being considered a true hero. But that doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. That kind of stuff doesn't matter at all. Whatever you say it needs to be done, I will do as you order me to. Oh, that one was more in line with an actual character description. A nursery rhyme is a children's refrain. Tom Thunn's charming picture book. First glimpse of Mother Goose's awakening. The sorrowful me to the lonely you. Your final wish. Let's make it come true. Gotta be honest. All of Nursery's lines are a lot different than like Robin's or Drake's. No, I don't even think we have much in terms of Saber. We only know that she has anti-magic and migraines constantly. Regardless, might as well use this chance to go stock up on resources. Right. Let's do the last altercation of the week. Alright, so we got the last 9 skill point, which is enough to obtain, I believe this is Saber's last skill. So then the question is, what do we use it on? Yeah, it even says so right there. Complete. I don't know if this will be enough to rank up any skill here. It's enough to get defense all the way to B. So it's not crazy, but I'm just gonna do this. Raise Saber's magic to D. Well, yeah, I think I am actually just gonna go for this. Mostly just to raise magic stat, even if it's just a little, but also because we might just start encountering more enemies with magic going forward. Don't get me wrong, magic is by no means one of the best stats in the game. Most people agree that the best stats are probably strength, defense, and agility. Or specifically strength and defense, with magic not even being necessary for Saber mostly, since they're more of a physical-oriented class. Luck is in its own weird position. But besides that, I think we're gonna go with a little bit of magic this time. Since it works more as a... See, my own line of reasoning for this real quick. Sorry to interrupt you, Saber. No, we're done for now. I can't even do anything more. See, my own line of reasoning. Magic isn't strictly for like how much damage you do with your magical attacks. If it was, then we wouldn't really need that for Saber. But it also works as your defense against magic. It's kind of a 2-in-1. So that's mostly my line of thinking. Since we're going to be facing against a magic-oriented class, might as well also raise up our defenses against that, even if it's by a little bit. Speaking of which, this is actually what I wanted to bring up. Saber's final skill. I already forgot what it was called. Blossom of the Court, that's what it was. This one is just a simple deals damage to enemy. However, as you can see right there, right next to the part that says deal damage to enemies, it says requirement, use Noble Phantasm. Now, obviously, we can't use that yet. But whenever we do get a Noble Phantasm, probably he would help us a lot. In other news, I think it's best we start talking about equipment and stuff. What am I doing? I can just walk through the store. Alright. So equipment recommendations going in. I need to stop pressing that. Fine. Okay, so first off, we don't need Shockwave First Strike. It's not going to help us in this situation at all. And we'll keep Rusty Sword here as a questioning. Break this down. Boys uniform, basically you won't even really need this. It's normal 10. And while extra the mana with durable gym clothes is probably a good idea, also probably not even going to really need this. We don't need this because we're not going to be playing on the field. We also do not... And second off, Phoenix Scarf and Mermaid's Robe. While both are indeed interesting, I personally would not recommend bringing them if you have a bunch of items like I do. If you don't, then I would probably recommend bringing them, but I also would not consider them a priority by any means. Mostly due to the fact of, at this point I think the items you can buy in the Commissionary do as much as these broadcasts can. I think that's what these were called, right? I don't even really remember anymore. I'm sorry. Pretty sure these were codecasts, though. If I'm wrong, then editing me will just put over what they're actually called right here and right now. State Monocle is also kind of useless, and our opponent right now does not inflict poison, paralysis, or curse. Fortune Key, while luck is something, we won't need this right now. And Imp Spell, well, I don't think getting rid of stat buffs is going to be a priority in this fight either. Silver Earrings would help if we had a caster, but since we have Saber, it's probably not going to work as well. Which just leaves the two I've basically skipped over. Old Rusty Sword, always recommended. It gains strength, is always going to be great. And the bigger one, Exorcist Blade. Since Pack will always be useful since we got Servants. Since Servants always have skills, and if you can predict when Servants are going to be using their skills, that's just going to be great as well. And with the way that this fight works, well, I'll get into it when we actually start, but trust me. We will be needing that. I mean, if you want to be extra sadistic about this. Anyways, go to Mine. You'll now enter the Colosseum and confront the opposing master. Are you ready? Remember, the only way to leave the Colosseum is to win. If you are ready, I will open the gate. Let's do it. The way to the Colosseum is now open, young master. I wish you the best of luck and hope that you will return. Remember, it's kill or be killed. We got our two little bastards. And now the door opens. Now the elevator once again. Playtime again.
さあ楽しみましょう
What do you want to play today? Hide and seek? Tag? Playhouse? I guess the way that we're gonna be handling this, I guess we're playing tag. Alex wants to play hide and seek. Alex is the best Deborah at hiding. Even from the mister? Yeah, even from the mister. Yeah, we're really good at hiding from people. Mister would never find us, even if the mister looked really, really hard. And then we're gonna cut off his head when he's looking for us. Are we really? Uh-huh. Because anyone who's bad at game has got their head cut off. That's the rule in Wonderland, remember? But we can't do that and hide at the same time. Right, because if no one finds us, we'll be lonely. Uh-huh. Be really lonely. But we just beat up the mister if he can't find us. Let's talk about fun things instead.
邪魔しないで
Don't get in the way. We're not talking to you right now, mister. Yep, Alice is talking to Alice right now. That's right. Alice only talks to Alice. I thought you were the same as us. The exact same as us. I thought Alice wasn't going to be lonely anymore. You don't like me, but I don't need you, mister. Alice is the only one Alice needs. She's the only Alice for Alice. You're not my Alice, mister. I don't need you anymore, mister. You're in the way now.
悪くないぞ
Big girls, decide on manners on their own. Still, I always enjoy watching their harmonious accord. I cannot help but feel sorry for them. Brilliance is but the sparkle of dreams escaping a corpse. But if you want to play with us, well, just this once I'll play with you, mister. You're so nice, Alice. Then Alice will play with the mister too. Let's have lots of fun. Don't run away again, okay? Or Alice.
怒ってるの
Or? Nuh-uh. Alice just doesn't like that. We only like playing. Much fun to play with Alice. I'm super duper happy. Alice loves to play with Alice. Super duper happy. Mister, you're not our friend, but we'll play with you just for today. We'll all have fun together. Let's be happy together. Elevator vibrates to a halt. We're there. On the ice castle, huh? Alice wants to thank you for playing lots and lots this week. Alice had so much fun. We haven't had so much fun in a long, long time. Alice is happy and says thank you too. We're all done playing with you now, mister. Alice wants to play with just Alice now. I don't need you anymore, mister. I'm gonna miss you, but it's time to say bye-bye. Castor's marching like one of those boy soldiers. What did he say next? Forgot already? It goes like this. Now, good the Tom Thumb, your work is done. The tale is at its end. May dreams of dark embrace your heart. Night's curtain does descend. The great mirth, I'll cut off your head. Life from your body rend. Indeed, all tales must end. Master, you're a sweet person. I know you've grown attached to these girls somewhat, but life rests on the principle of death. Shall I make that fatal tension even more exquisite? as Caster. Alright, the way that this fight with Caster works is a little different. And we're sort of on a soft timer. If the timer reaches 0, the fight doesn't end per se and we lose. But what does happen is that the fight will reset to the beginning. Full HP for Caster, or while we're stuck at the HP that we were when the timer ran out. Forcing us to play again, and again, and again, and again. So our goal is obviously to beat her before that timer. Which is to say, 8 turns. So once the 8 turns up, Caster will use her Noble Phantasm and reset the battle. There's nothing we'll be able to do to stop it, so we have to take her out before then. The plus side, however, to this is that Caster's fight is basically scripted. Since these 8 turns repeat over and over and over again, and Caster will always use the same moves regardless. I mean, it is actually well documented as to what a Caster will do. So, ignoring that code cast, that is going to actually... Most likely, the option is that this code cast is not a healing. Just, Alice has 2. A healing one and a one that does damage and stuns against break. Chances are this is the one that deals damage and stuns against break. So, we're just gonna have to play around with that. You may ask. This. For the first turn, it's going to start with skill, attack, break. No, sorry, that's on our side. It's going to start with skill, attack, guard, break. I don't know why I had to read so much into that. It's literally on screen right now. So we're able to do a little bit of... Like this. Yep. That's the one that deals attack and even more against break. Which, I mean, granted, at that point I would have just guarded, but it's not important right now. Okay, I'll be honest. Admittedly, we might have come to this fight a little bit over-prepared, seeing as Caster is basically already defeated. But I will just put up an entire list of every single attack pattern that Caster and Alice will do on top of the screen right now. So if you're going through this fight yourself and you're not going to like 1 or 2 turn it, then you can basically use that as a way to dictate when's what. But I guess now the only thing we can do is just end the fight right now. It doesn't even matter at this point. Casters aren't really known for their strength. Yeah. The reason why this fight works on tricks is because casters aren't really known for direct confrontation, so if a caster were to be fought in direct confrontation, it'll just lead to the massacre that you've seen right in front of you. Here it comes again. We're disappearing? It's over already. Servant Alice firmly grasped Master Alice's hand. They clung to each other. Their voices plaintive. Alice was alone for so long. Nobody noticed me. No home, and I was sent for a long time. And Alice found Alice to belong to. We were happy. We even had a home. That's all we needed. Forever and ever. It's like this. That's what we needed. Why is it gotta end? Why did they take our happiness away? Shh. It's okay. Alice gives a small smile. Alice already knew that everything was gonna go bye-bye. I don't remember very well. I'm probably already dead. My body isn't in the hospital anymore. Alice is like a box with nothing inside of it. There's never anything there since the beginning. Even back in the hospital, there was no Alice left inside Alice. No one noticed Alice. I was alone. I hurt. No one treated Alice like a person. It was the same after Alice came to Wonderland, too. Alice was so alone. So I know that my home here, my Alice, will go far away soon. But, Mister, you cared about Alice, didn't you? Yeah, I did. You always paid attention to Alice, Mister. It's because you're like Alice, Mister. Except you still have a real place to go home to somewhere. Thank you, Alice. Always being my friend, and always being with me. Thank you, Mister, for seeing Alice, for playing with Alice. I really wanted to play a little more, but bye-bye. It sounded like the crumbling of sugar. Now it's glares for a moment. And she's gone. And a reflection. This time I was Alice in the looking glass. Even if I'm summoned in the next warp, I won't be the Alice I am now. It was someone's fanciful creation. The real Alice is a mystery. Being Alice's servant made me happy. Right before she crumbles away, a single drop falls from her eye. Why am I crying? I know. Even if I cry, it'll never be the real thing. That's the ribbon. Okay, never mind. Screw me. It wasn't even there to begin with. What? Of course it'd be. Why would he have anything to remember any of the other masters by? All I've got left are the ideals. Goddamn. Ligger's girl chases after her sweet master. She should be used to the harsh rules of the Holy Grail War by now, but I can't desensitize myself. It's natural. The system is twisted at its core. And so the girl disappeared. I didn't wish for her to die. I didn't wish for anything. I still want her death. It's that their death I've caused. It's the Holy Grail War demand that I kill. That girl will never see another day because of me. Guilt weighs heavily on my soul. Okay, so like, disconnect real quick. The girl wasn't gonna live to see another day regardless. Like, even if she did get to the end, where else would she go? Like, I know, hard disconnect, but like, there wasn't really much more to her life. I'm sorry. She's gonna say it bluntly. She's dead. She has been dead, and the fact that, and even if, and the truth is, if she made it to the end. No matter what, she's not coming out of this thing alive. Because she wasn't going in alive to begin with. I know, sorry, hard tonal disconnect and tone shift, but like, I just wanted to get off my chest real quick. Harway. You're lamenting over the death of your opponent. And a warm, cheery voice breaks through my gloom. The loss of life is always sad. It's always a sad affair, especially if it's a consequence of the ruthlessness of war. Ruthlessness? I think pointless would be more accurate. Point taken. However, you fight because you have no other choice. You either kill or die. There is no mercy to be found in war, and the sadness of causing death is still there. But humanity dreams of the Holy Grail's power. They entrust their hopes to a higher power. They do this because they know that they aren't capable of doing what is best for all. More so than that, this fact is what saddens me the most, said Leo. That's really pathetic. Human people who can't save themselves and us who are already damned. Those words ring of someone who sees themselves as a savior of a world in chaos. Wait before you pass judgment. I was born and raised to be king. I was born and raised to be king of the world. I'll remember your grief and her pain so that one day none will have to die for nothing. I've joined this battle in order to end the world's cycle of suffering and deprivation. Once control is restored, I can put an end to the conflicts brought on by synchrony and want. Isn't that what you desire? For your grief and her death to have meaning? In a perfect society, all people must be equal. Save the world, there must be equilibrium. Those ideas are poison, there's a seductive... Those ideas are poison, there's a seductiveness to his words that is hard to ignore. Maybe his ideas are what's needed to heal a fractured world. The boy's oddly comforting voice lifts my spirits, which had sunk after Alice's death. What a way to confront... What a way to comfort someone. This person's totally clueless. Being bombastic helps nothing. Suddenly forcing her way into the conversation was none other than Rin. The unrestrained hatred in her voice, it perfectly matches the animosity of her expression. Over your little spiel. That's what I expect from the plutocracy Harway family. I'm sorry, I need to actually read that. Goddamn. Plutocratic Harway family. Okay, moving on. I care not at all. I wish nothing more than to see a world where everyone has their place. And of course, that place is under your rule, with you deciding who lives and who dies, correct? Your rules of plate is where you alone decide whether a child to be fed or is to be fed or left to starve. So a person's entire life is dedicated to the whims of the Harway family's desires. However, you are not a god. If you want to live as you do now, forever, go ahead. I don't care. But for me, I cannot and will not accept things as they currently are. If you wish to build a country, be dominated by saints, fine. Let's leave humanity out of it. So my information about you being a potential insurgent was correct after all, Mr. Osaka. You assume I don't understand your position, and in that you're wrong. However, you need to realize the efficient distribution of resources depends on proper management. I can assure you that my family has no plans to stockpile goods for financial gain. Once you see how you rule, you'll understand our grand design for the well-being of humanity. Or the Harway plan for prosperity. I'm aware of the Harway plan for prosperity. Everyone in a place with no place for dissent. A paradise based off stasis and class immobility. No change, no hope for a better future. Stability at the expense of hope and joy. A world where people don't live only merely exist. I mock anyone who chose that path. Living as merely one of the flock doesn't appeal to me. Miss Tosaka, that's because you have inherent and strength that the masses lack. good to feel that way if you're in a fight to preserve your very existence. However, would you wish for all of mankind to suddenly be given the same strength? I mean, that's to say. Of course you wouldn't. You're all too aware of your own selfishness and your pride. Because of that, you cannot share your pain with those without strength to bear it. I would, and I would. Not as soft-hearted as you make me out to be. Is that so? You always help those in need. Your compassion will lead you to defeat. What did you just say? Joy is unbearable. In order to save humanity, you must first be willing to let them die. The world needs a strong leader, Miss Tosaka. Once I gain the power of the Holy Grail, I will be the one true king, and my virtue will illuminate the darkness that engulfs the world. The European and plutocrats control 30% of the world and none have voiced their discontent. And opposition to our rule comes from outside the farm. To expand on your analogy a little. In short, either join the flock or be slaughtered. Our current view is that the populations of the Asian region are expendable. Okay, two things. First off, in short, either join the flock or be slaughtered. It's a hard lines. Fucking probably the hardest and coldest thing I've ever heard from this guy. God damn. Secondly, come on, man, you can't just say that. That's not. You can't say those things anymore, Leo. Of course, we plan to integrate the region. Of course, we have plans to integrate the region should they choose to support our aims. I think we agree on something. Okay, I perfectly understand now. What exactly do you understand? I was right in entering the Holy Grail this time around. So Leonardo Vistaro Harué, heir to the apparent head of the plutocratic Harué family. I swear to you that I'll crush your delusions of genocide and despotic rule. To be perfectly clear, you intend to kill me. Seeing as I seriously doubt that anything short of taking your life would stop you, yes! I see. I have faith that someone of your intellect will understand one day. Or maybe you already do. Talk about stubborn. You can't fault your dedication to your megalomaniacal delusions, though. Ends open declaration of war. I don't think it'll escalate hostilities the way it did with Julius. Leo's chosen her path, and she has done so as well. Their battle will be fought within the Holy Grail War. One will win, the other will die. And then those two will eventually disappear. Only I, who has nothing, will remain. Leo's plans, Rin's determination. I have nothing to fight for, yet I continue to fight and kill. Unlike the real world, I can feel the weight of this virtual world press down upon me. Even so. I have no choice but to fight. That's right. If it comes down to it, fighting's my only real option. It's either fight or die. But I'm not going to keep this up. I can't bring myself to continue even one step further. Oh, Saber sleeping peacefully. Never did appreciate that incense that Taiga gave us yesterday. Well, now that we finally got all this up and running, let's actually read through all this. Class Caster. Master Alice, true name Nursery Rhyme. Old Phantasm, Maxwell's Demon. Maiden's Empire, or Queen's Class Game. Keywords are Jabberwock and Nameless Forest. Strength E, Defense E, Agility A, Agility E, Magic E, Luck E. God damn, no wonder they went down so easily. Transformation A+, Metamorphosis A, and Area Creation A. Maxwell's Demon. Maiden's Empire, Queen's Glass Game. Story without end. A child's light finger returns to the first line. A tiny hand reaches out for the second volume, for as long as the reader denies reality. Jabberwock. Names to be uncovered in places still unknown. Fire-breathing dragons and cloud-spouting giants, and magic things that are monsters in the shadows. Maybe, just maybe, the world of adults are lies. The truth of all is in Professor Duchess's mind. Nameless forest. Acroid, celluloid, sadistic acrostic. No one is especially special here. Birds are birds and people are people. Entropy suits me to a tittle. In the end, your name is mine. Transformation A. I will change, I have changed. I am you, while you are me. I'm going to change, I will have changed. I am you, and you are me. Metamorphosis A. This is the ability to merge one's own body with the body parts of others. The higher the rank in the skill, the further away one comes from being considered a true hero. But it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. That kind of stuff doesn't matter at all. Whatever you say needs to be done, I'll do it as you order me to. Territory Creation A. Smallest store, the maddest tea party, the checkered board in the Rainbow Meadow, riddles of the chatty twins, but my favorite all can only be this one. The invitation to the nameless forest, all can be forgotten. Character background. A nursery rhyme is a children's refrain. Tom Thumb's charming picture book. First glimpse of Mother Goose's awakening. The sorrowful me to the lonely you. Your final wish. Let's make it true. Nursery rhyme. Nursery rhyme is not a hero in the traditional sense. Rather, it's a general term for any picture book that manages to manifest itself into a corporeal existence. The genre itself, deeply loved by the children of Europe, came into being as a reaction to the half-voiced dreams of a young girl and eventually emerged as a servant who became the champion of the innocent. It formed the foundation for perhaps the best-known work from the author known as Lewis Carroll. His book, Alice in Wonderland, began as a series of simple rhymes told to the daughter of a family friend and while rowing down the river Thames on a warm summer day. The servant nursery rhyme is actually a type of reality novel. Projects the true feelings of its master and creates a pseudo-servant in form imagined by the one who summoned it. Well, that's everything from Caster. So, that's probably it for this week, I think. You know, in case something doesn't just pop up out of nowhere like last week. But with that out of the way, that's probably going to end it here. Next time on Fate Extra, be heading into the 4th week. See you guys then. The air is tense. The tension in the air reminds me of how it feels when an opponent pairing is announced. My pairing hasn't been announced. However, I recognize the two girls in front of the bulletin board. The girl in red is Rin Tosaka, and the other is a girl the same age as Rin, or a little older. The girls size each other up, and without a word, each glances away from the other. One of these two girls will die. That's what fate has decided. Jesus Christ. Rin Tosaka and Rani the Eighth are equally powerful. You can only gain from one taking the other out. I am not the only witness. It's Julius. He walks over to the bulletin board after the two have left. Either side will hold in the battle. If I could watch the fight, I could learn quite a bit. Not a single glance this way, they leave. I really don't understand, but I'm nervous either way. Here. You know what? I'll do it again, but I'm not saying goodbye this time. Because I have a feeling something's about to happen. The moment I see Rin Sasaka, I know the time has come. Body language is as aloof as ever, but I can see the focus in her gaze. Today's the day they fight. One of them will die. But think of it, I haven't seen Julius. It's not unusual, but it worries me for some reason. What Julius said in front of the bulletin board about Rin and Ronnie's battle is still bugging me. Maybe it's a good idea to track down Julius. From outside the multimedia room, I hear a faint voice. I put my ear to the door in order to hear better. It's Julius. Can't make out the details, but he's talking about a program's code. Firewall about the battlefield is just too strong. Here's the heist there. I sense him moving, but shuffle away the door and panic. There's nothing to hide! It's you. Zord of murderous intent makes my heart bleed out of my chest, but then he promptly leaves. Even though he tried to kill me in the past, Julius doesn't seem to register my existence. Maybe I'm not worth it for him to suffer yet another penalty for fighting outside the arena. Alright, it's fancy, it's desks, projector. What do you expect from a multimedia room, honestly? Multimedia room's a bit bigger than the regular classroom. At the front of the room is a screen. Makes sense, this was a place for movies. Instead of a ceiling projector, there's an old-fashioned film projector, which is odd. I'd be here all the time for all I know. I'd never visit this room. That device has been rewrought, and recently. Servant's right. The film projector seems to be warping very well data around it. Something about this has to be. Something must have been happening. Something must have been done to it. Probably by Julius. For what purpose? As I reach out to inspect it. Okay, let's. Fix. Blast blue. Like right next to my cap, right here. Hold on. 999 Blast Blue system. Yours to. It's faded. There's a Blast Blue didn't fade. I didn't believe that. I was not prepared for that. Outside of that, the first line we can probably scan some things about Bane, Sif, Mod. But then it's like, next one is just Blazblue, and then the last one just seems to be a bunch of random numbers and things. Weird. When I touched, the sparks went flying into my brain. I think I was attacked by some kind of program. But although it makes me dizzy, the effects pass immediately. I don't think I took damage. I wonder what that was. Somehow I don't think it was Julius's turn. I'm pulled away from my reverie by the earth-splitting sound of a weapon. Someone's business. I brace myself thinking Julius has returned, but he's nowhere to be found. Then suddenly an image emblazons itself upon my brain. Ronnie. Next to her slim form is a giant servant, and facing them are Rintosak and her servant. This must be an elimination battle between the two of them. How do you mean it's emblazoned? He's into your brain. It's right there on the screen. The film projector just spins into motion, projecting images of the battle onto the screen. Huh. Well, anyone who has been played would recognize these two, but for those who've only played the original game, none of these are familiar.
測定せよ琥珀の鹿
赤い袖は茨のごとくってな。
Even. Watching the man's fight would be a huge advantage in a war like this, where information is crucial to survival. It goes without saying that this is a total violation of the rules, but I expect nothing less of Julius. In any case, why did Julius leave halfway through? Is that his plan, or did something go wrong? Leave your speculations for later, Master. You would do well to observe this splendid fight. My servant draws my attention to the screen. Rin and Ronnie are facing each other, and the forms of their servant can't be made out clearly. Regardless of what you're seeing here, servants just make a blur of a fight. The image quality isn't bad per se, it's more like there's a mask effect overlaid to hide them. Even with the security measure, I can still tell both servants wield long shafts. They're both lancers then. I easily see the sparks from their lances as each thrust Harry swipes in defense. Ronnie's servant seems massively powerful, but Rin isn't giving an inch. Either one can win. No other red lance will win this. It's a classic David and Goliath situation. Save declares Rin's victory, seemingly arbitrary. The are equally matched. The next girl has more creativity at her disposal, so she will win. She's better able to exploit her enemy's weakness. She wields her brains as if it were a blade itself. The darker-skinned girl realizes she does not have the cleverness to counter, and must frustrate her. Rin notices she's winning too. Her posture is full of confidence. On the other hand, there's a hint of alarm on Ronnie's otherwise expressionless face. And then the clash suddenly stops. Can't make out what's going on, but I can tell there's space between the two opponents now. The one who backed off was Ronnie. Her servant went towards and starts gathering energy. Even the blurry in the screen, I can tell it's an inordinate amount of power is being summoned. Your bow is vibrating a lot. Sorry, Professor. Must return the chastity and life you bestowed upon me. Maximum velocity, infinite. Fountain of the northern sky. Mode of Cyrus. Continuations of duty deemed impossible. In case of failure, destruct like stealth along with moon. What the fuck? Performing final directive. Wait, what? Unless a monkey can pull a crazy stuff like this? Cool, this is something to self-destruct over? For taking a beating from Rin, Ronnie must be intending to use from last resort. Never mind Rin! written in so liquefy the entire arena? He used her command seal. The trump card you can only use twice in the entirety of the war, and Ronnie just used one. Twice. No. Command seal what caused this horrendous power to... Command seal is what's causing this horrendous power to well up from within her. Heart's on the kill on the verge of exploding. Anyone who saw her right now can tell. Bonnie's body was built with the capacity to overload like this. Magic circuits are at critical convergence. You don't need to throw away your life like this. Ooh, wait. Kamikaze, huh? All you do now is you stole your pathetic master, am I? The servant addresses her with a flippant tone, totally unsuited to the intensity of the situation. It's old news. Save the jokes for later, Lantern. If she's serious, we need to go all out. Heart made of ether light. Before she blows up the arena, cure her. It's the core renal phantasm. Huh. I like it when you're desperate. What a threat. Fine. Finally time for him to end this. The Rin's command Lancer takes a stance and gathers the strength. It builds and builds until... Next attack will settle the battle. They'll not have time to resort to their command seals. Even the victor will suffer greatly. There's a possibility that both contenders will end up perishing. Saber cuts herself off. She looks directly at me and says in an annoyed tone of voice. That strange look upon her face. Do not tell me you're thinking of saving them. I didn't realize I was telegraphing my emotions, but more importantly, what did my servant just say? Could there be a way to save them? Well, there might be, but Saber wasn't enthusiastic. Yes, indeed there is. I intended to keep it to myself, yet I find you dragging it from me. Although reluctant, the young blonde servant points to my left hand. At my command seals. Hopefully there, trust me. The PSP can display these graphics. As long as the screen connects to where they are, you may save either one of them. But their location is walled off. That would require the assistance of a command seal to transit there. So, yeah, it's actually impossible. Still, command seals exist to make the impossible happen. I would need one seal to get there, and possibly a second one to survive once there. We could lose 2 command seals. Wipe that look off your face. Can't believe I must ask this, but I will ask anyways. Do you truly intend to save one of these girls? This is a route sport, isn't it? I plan to do it, either one eventually, but gotta at least choose one, huh?